Hi guys, Lasagne here and welcome to my Runescape farming guide. This guide will be for levels 15 to 99. If you are under 15, I recommend from level 1 to 15 to farm the best produce you can. You can do this in the exact way I show you in the video, and when you hit 15 then you can start with oak trees. A quick disclaimer, this guide is one of several ways you can go about farming, so feel free to experiment with different methods depending on your wealth and level. And finally, feel free to pause the video whenever you want if I'm going too fast for you, or if you want a closer look. So first we'll go over what you will need. So first you need to make sure that you've got everything for farming in your tool belt. This makes it easier to have everything, so when you go farming you don't need to remember anything from the bank. So the first item you need is a rake. This is for removing all the weeds and stuff that are going to be in the farming plot. You then need a dibber in there. This will ensure that you can plant seeds, a spade to dig up things, a trowel so you can put your seeds in the plant pot, and secateurs for herb runs. So if you make sure all of these are in your tool belt, so then when you go farming you won't need to remember anything. It may also be a good idea to make sure that you put all your tools in the tool leprechaun in case you've missed anything off your tool belt. So you can put your rake, seed dibber, spade, trowel, secateurs and a watering can in here, and you can also put your compost and plant cures in there, which I'll touch on a bit later. You also need items that can't be put on the tool belt. These include watering cans, or if you've done the quest the magic watering can, plant pots, these may have soil or without soil, and various teleport rooms, and I'll touch more on them when we need them. The first thing I'm going to be going over are wood tree runs. Now as you can see on screen now, it shows you the level required for each seed, from level 15 with the acorn and level 75 for the magic tree. Now the higher you do get, the more expensive these become, so if your bank isn't that big you might want to stop at something lower like a willow or a maple. So this is just a guide on the levels that you do need for the seeds, but it's up to you which seeds you do plant. Now depending on the seed that you are planting, you're going to have to look at what the payment is. They vary from seed to seed. Now the chances are if you don't pay for the seed to be protected, then it will die and you lose the money you paid for the seed, so it's always best to pay. Now as you can see on screen, it shows you what you will need to pay for each seed. For example, an acorn, you'll need tomato baskets. If you do magics, 25 coconuts. Now the common misconception is that these need to be in your info unnoted, but however you can note these. There are 5 wood tree plots in Runescape: Varrock, Tree Gnome Stronghold, Tavali, Falador and Lumbridge. Now it's up to you which order you do these and how you actually get to each plot, but in a minute I'll show you how I get to them and where they're located. Now first off I will show you how to make a sapling, because you can't simply plant the seed. So if you've already bought plant pots off the GE with soil in, then you can skip this step, but if you haven't, this is what you do. You use a plant pot and use it on any farming plot, there we go, like that, and you use the trowel that should be already in your tool belt and it'll fill it up. Then all you need to do then is click the seed and put it into the plant pot. You can do many of these at once, and I'd highly recommend doing this, so when you go on a farm and you just take them out the bank and you don't have to do them individually. Now once it's planted, you just use a watering can on it, like so, and then all you need to do is wait. Now this can take straight away, and it can take up to about 5 minutes to grow, but you soon know if it's grown because a little sapling will come out the top of the plant pot and you know it's ready to put in the ground. Now once you've got your 5 saplings and corresponding payments, you need to head over to the first plot, which is in Varrock, north of Varrock Centre, in the grounds of the Varrock Castle. You can see just here. Now if you have already planted a tree and it's grown, you need to right click the tree and check health. This gets your farming XP. Then you need to right click again and clear, and it'll ask you a message, do you want to clear it, and you click yes. This removes the tree so you can plant another one. Now once it has gone, you need to click on your sapling and use it in the plot. This will plant it. Now be sure to right click the gardener next to it and pay. This will get rid of one of your payments and it will make sure that your tree doesn't become diseased and doesn't die. So there you have it, your first tree planted. Now moving on to the second plot. Now the second plot is located in the tree named Stronghold and is just by the bank and west of the agility training arena. Now to get here you can use the spirit tree in the GE, which is near the Varrock patch which we've just been to, or you can use the lodestone to RD and run north. Once here, just do the same as you did on the first tree, plant it and then use the payment to make sure it's protected. Then move on to the third plot. Now the third plot is in the east of Taverley. Now to get here, it's best to use the lodestone, which is just here, and you just run a little bit south across the bridge and then it's here. Now again, just plant your tree as you do normally. Make sure checking the health of the tree if you've already got one planted, and then make sure you pay for it so it doesn't die. The fourth plot is located in Falador Park. Now for those who don't know, it's just east of the centre of Falador. Now to get here you can use a Falador tally tab, or you can use a lodestone and just run to the park, and it's located just here. Now again, do the same as you did for all the others. And finally the last plot is located in Lumbridge. Now the best way to get here is using the lodestone or Lumbridge teleport, and then just run past the castle, and it's located just behind Lumbridge Castle right there. Now moving on from wood tree runs, there are also fruit tree runs. Now as you can see on screen, it shows you the level required for each seed, from level 27 apple tree seeds all the way to level 68 palm tree seeds. Now again, these do get expensive, so you might want to stop at pineapple level 51 if you haven't got a very big bank, but again it's up to you what seed you decide to plant. Now the same with wood trees. For fruit trees you need to find the payment as well. So if you have a look what seed you're planting and check the corresponding payment. For example, if you're planting pineapples you'll need 10 watermelons, which can be noted. If you're doing palm trees you'll need 15 papayas. It's always recommended to pay to protect your tree, because these do get expensive and you really want the XP because they take a long time to grow. So always pay. Now again, the same as the wood trees, fruit trees have 5 plots. These are located in the tree named Stronghold, the tree named Village just outside the maze, Cafferby, Brimhaven and Lasagne. And again, I will show you where these are and how I get to them, but it's up to you how you get to them and the order that you do them in. The first fruit tree plot is located in the tree named Stronghold, just here, just north of the agility training arena and east of the spirit tree. Now again, like I said before in the video, to get to the wood one, you can either use any spirit tree, the one in the G will do, or you can run north from the RD lodestone. Now the second fruit tree plot is located on the west of the tree named Village, just here. Now there's several ways to get to this. If you've just been to the Gnome Stronghold one, you can use the spirit tree back to the village, and then you can leave the little gate there and follow someone out and he will bring you about there and just run. You can also go from Castle Walls, which is down here, or the Yanal Lodestone, which is just there. So you just go here whatever way you want. The third fruit plot is located in Cafferby, and this can be accessed by teleporting to the lodestone in Cafferby and running east on the seafront. This is located by the fish flingers guy, and it's just on the beach there. The fourth fruit plot is located in Brimhaven. Now there's several ways of going about getting to this one. You can either run north from the house portal, and you can teleport here by using a chipped house tab, which after completing Love Story you got the ability to do that. Or another way to get in here is using an RD teleport and then running south to the docks using a charter ship, which will bring you here, and then just running south to the plot. And the final plot is in Lasagne. As you can see, it's just in the southeast corner right there. Now to get here, the best way is using a teleport crystal, and to access this farming patch you will need to complete the elf quests. Moving on from fruit trees, you've got herb runs. Now as you can see, I've only got 5 here. This is because everything else is a big loss and I wouldn't recommend you doing them unless the economy changes. So as you can see, there's Raynar, Toadflax, Avanto and Snapdragon, and these are really good money, so I'd highly recommend doing these if just to pay for your tree runs. Now I've added Fellstalk. They are not good money, but they're extremely good XP, so when you're at 91 and you'd rather the XP than the money, then definitely switch to Fellstalk. Now like everything in farming, there are 5 patches. These are Trollheim if you've done My Arm's Big Adventure, north of Catherby, north of Ardugny, west of Port Phasmatis, and south of Falador. And again, I'll show you these in a minute of how I get to them and what order I do them in, but again, it's entirely up to you how you get there and where you go. And next are herb runs. Now it's very important with herb runs to maximise your yield. Now if you've done the fairy tale quests, you should be lucky enough to have magic secateurs. These increase your yield. Now with loyalty points you can also buy a green fingers aura. Now these go all the way up to master green fingers I think, and these really increase your yield. And finally, Juju farming potions, which are very good for increasing yield. And don't forget, the more yield you get, the more profit you get, so it's very important to get these. Now also, before you plant a herb seed, you want to use a super compost. This makes sure that the minimum yield you get from one spot is 5. So it's very important, and these also make sure that the plot is very rarely diseased. So it's very important to use super compost. Now the first herb plot you want to go to is Trollheim if you've completed My Arm's Big Adventure. Now there's several ways to get to Trollheim. There's a normal spellbook, teleport to Trollheim. If you've completed Love Story, there's a home teleport tab that you can be chipped and teleport to Trollheim. Or if you've done Livid Farm, there is a teleport straight to the farming patch. So once arriving at Trollheim, you want to run west along these shortcuts and north into this dungeon. Once you go to this dungeon, you need to run south, up a ladder, and then you end up here. Now just run north a little bit and you go to the farming patch. The second herb plot is in Catherby. You can get here by running east from Camelot, or you can use the lodestone that's in Catherby itself and run a little northwest. The third herb plot is located north of Ardee. Now you can use the Ardee lodestone to get there, or you can use the skilling necklace from the fishing guild and then run east. Now the fourth herb patch is located in Port Phasmatis. Now to get here you can use an ectophile and run west, a Slayer ring to the Slayer Tower and run east, or you can use a Freya ring and run north from the woods. The final herb patch is located south of Falador. Now to get here you can either use a home port to Port Sarim, you can use a Valley Telly and run south, or the best option is using your Explorer ring and Cabbage port and then just run north. Please note, when you get more experienced in doing your farm runs, you can combine different runs, so your fruit and wood tree runs, together. So for example, when you need to go to the Gnome Stronghold, you can do both of them there, and instead of doing them separately. Now, for the purpose of this video I didn't show that because it could become complicated, but feel free to experiment and do your runs how you want them. Thanks for watching everyone, and if you have any questions feel free to comment in the section below. Please read in the description because I will be adding disclaimers and any relevant information that I haven't put in the video, so make sure you see that, and hopefully this guide would have helped you with your farming.